This is for some of our YouTube fans here. Some of you have mentioned that in some of our reviews you've wanted to see Windows experience scores and just some other things, so I'm going to kind of do a little bit of that here and show you. Obviously we're using just a standard hard drive here, so our maximum score we can get there is 5.9, so our system score suffers from that, but as you can see the CPU, memory, and GPU are scoring about as high as I've ever seen them score, so it's a beast of a computer. As you sneak over here, we're just taking a quick look. Of course, it's just going to give us that, but as you can see, the 16 gigs of RAM is our choice for this particular one here. 2.5 gigahertz, 2920. It's pretty impressive. The processor itself, didn't quite think that Sandy Bridge was going to be as big of a performance boost as it is, but I tell you, it's been pretty impressive. Temperature-wise, this particular computer is quite good. Even on an overclocked run of Vantage, of course, right now we're back down to 41 Celsius, but with maximum score or maximum temperature on Vantage there was 79 Celsius. The CPU was running a little bit warmer in the low to mid 80s, but overall the dual fan system on this really does its job well. It did a good job at keeping this cool. To the touch, you would not really know that the computer has been getting up to these temperatures, as keeping your hand while it's been running, even in games, over the handrest area. It does not show any sort of heat at all. So you'll be able to game for hours comfortably. Okay, the next thing we're going to go ahead and go over here is our BIOS screen. This is another one of those YouTube requested items that people want to take a look at the BIOS here and see what options there are. Here we're just on our main tab within the BIOS. The F2 is the key to access this during startup. We've got right away here, it's just going to tell us which of our SATA ports are being used. The motherboard itself apparently is recognizing that 3 of them exist. This here is going to be our external, and then our optical drive, and then our internal hard drive. This does only have room for one hard drive, so I suppose if it had another fault, I would say that as some of the other 15.6-inch models on the market do have dual hard drive capabilities, this one does not. Just showing us here that, of course, you're seeing your memory showing that it's DDR3. I'm telling our motherboard series and the BIOS revisions and your firmware revision. It's kind of nice to see all that up front. That way, if there is a change on it, you'll be able to see that and if needed, flash to it. Same thing with our video card. It's giving us the VBIOS revision and the date that it was completed. As we tab over here to our advanced, it's going to give us a little bit of advanced chipset control here. Really, it's just allowing us to turn off our Bluetooth power. That's really the only advanced chipset control it's giving us any option to do. SATA mode here, it's going to allow us to change either to IDE or AHCI. Obviously, if you're using a newer hard drive, AHCI is going to be the mode that you're going to want to keep that in. And just legacy USB support, whether or not you want the Sega boot logo to pop up, whether or not you want it to beep, or if the battery's low, it gives you a little alarm there. Security wise, this is just to set a main password for BIOS. Here's our boot. We can change our boot sequence here. As you can see, in case I guess we've already got our CT30N LG Blu-ray drive there in the primary, but typically, when you want to install the operating system, you want to move that optical disk drive to the primary bay, and it looks like they've already done that here. And then they're just exiting there and saving our details. The other thing that I wanted to go over here with you while we're here is the indicator lights on the computer are pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but I did want to run over those with you here really quick. And well, starting here at the top left of the screen, of course you've got your power button, which kind of hides when it's off, but it's there. The top one there is our number lock, and then we've got caps lock here, and then this bottom one with the little down arrow there, you may not recognize as the scroll lock. Moving to the right, you can see the speaker placement here, and we saw the subwoofer underneath. This does use the THX True Studio Pro. It does mean that the machine itself has been out to George Lucas's ranch and been evaluated by Lucasfilm for quality. Listening to it, it doesn't get extremely loud, but the clarity is good. It is clear, unlike like the MSI 660R that gets both really loud and clear, the one that has Dynaudio doing their audio system. That one gets real loud and is still really clear. This one is clear and definitely loud enough for you to play a movie in a medium-sized room and have most everyone still hear it. Medium, small. It's not going to fill a large room. Most laptops won't. But overall, it is definitely an improvement from the previous version of this. So anyone who has had a previous, Clevo, it's a 2.1 audio system that is still impressive, loud enough to hear. As we go here to our right, the top one there is going to show you hard drive activity. The middle one there is the Wi-Fi, and then you've got a Bluetooth indicator. And that Bluetooth indicator I haven't seen that on a computer before. I actually kind of like knowing whether or not the radio is on or off. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is take a look at what's under the hood of the Sager NP8150. It's very easy to access all of these panels. The manufacturers made it very easy. 2 screws to remove the plate over the hard drive, and then it's actually just 4 screws here, here, and here. And then the whole plate just slides back, lifts off, and then you've got full access to everything here. So we'll just kind of have a look at what we've got going on here. Here's our CPU fan. You've got a dedicated fan for just the CPU. 2 RAM slots are here. There are another 2 underneath the keyboard. So it doesn't require a teardown like the Asus machines do to actually access it. Sager says that every thing on here was going to be user accessible and user replaceable. As you can see, there are no break this sticker and your warranty is void anywhere, which means they support if you replace the processor or even the graphics card in the future. It doesn't void your warranty. Obviously they don't cover the new part that you put in there, but won't, like most other manufacturers, won't cause you service problems in the future. GPU, fan, heatsink, specialized design of it is here. That's kind of an interesting design I haven't seen before. You've got your own dedicated fan there. As we saw earlier, it definitely works really well. As we really only saw max temps be somewhere in the in the 70 range, upper 70s of course. Subwoofer hiding out over there. As you swing around, get a look at it from this angle here. I'll even come from above. You've got your battery bay here that I removed. It just 2 clips hold it in place, and then it slides back and then lifts up as well. But you can just kind of get a better look at it here. It's designed really well. It's really easy to access. Everything is literally 3 minutes to get everything off. If you need to change RAM or hard drive or do a repasting on a CPU and GPU, or whatever it is that you want to access in here, it's quite easy to reach. Well, that about does it for our review of Sager's NP8150. Overall, it seems to be a gaming powerhouse in a small form factor. They definitely can tout that they've got the most powerful 15.6-inch model on the market. There is not a more powerful 15.6 inch that exists. That 485M is is one of the most powerful graphics cards, single cards we've seen yet, with very safe overclocking, pushing 17K on 3D Mark Vantage, and we even ran 3D Mark Vantage 11, and it even scored just about 3K on that, which isn't too shabby. And of course, not sure how much the driver being unsupported or unrecognized plays into that. Maybe it's not optimized for it, who knows. But still, for such an advanced benchmark, it's very respectable. We figure that this is going to be an extremely good seller, being that we've got outstanding kind of everything all around. The screen is great. If the keyboard were backlit, that would be about the only thing that would make this computer better. Possibly the touchpad not being rubberized would be a benefit as well. But overall, things that I personally could get over if I were looking at buying this machine as a desktop replacement that still is somewhat portable. Other than that, that's our take on this machine. If you have any questions, feel free to go to our website at www.exoticpc.com. That's XOTICPC.com. Any of our sales folks or tech support people would be glad to help you out with any questions that you have. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.